Hi guys, Shan here, and I am coming to you from my kitchen. Today I'm going to be talking about cold soaking your backpacking meals versus taking along a backpacking stove and gas canister. I am going to be hiking the Pacific Crest Trail in 2025, and if you've been watching my journey over the past few years, you know that I don't like to carry things if I don't have to. So one of the things that I am looking at are no cook and cold soaking backpacking meals. I have recently emptied out a Talenti jar. Well, thanks to my family, they emptied out the Talenti jar. And I was sent these Jar Genius stickers from Hike Life Gear. And I will put their information down below because this truly is a genius idea. The Jar Genius goes directly on your Talenti jar or whatever cold soaking jar you're using. I believe that they are made specifically to fit the Talenti jars, but I would check the website to see how well they do with other jars and what size jars are recommended. They have taken all of the guesswork out of how much water do you put into your backpacking meal by putting all of the measurements on your cold soaking jar. I mean, I wish I would have thought of this. I've laid out a few things that might be some good cold soaking choices, and we're going to start with breakfast. So oatmeal is one of those things that I enjoy year round, and I'm sure many of us have done overnight oats in the fridge. So cold soaking your oats is going to be a breeze. So I don't have any chia seeds currently, but that's one of the things I love putting in. Thank you. That was my dog. Chia seeds are one of the things that I love putting in my overnight oats. You can also put protein powder. This company also makes a maple French toast flavor, and in my opinion, that is the best to go with oats. It mixes very, very well for a plant-based powder. You can also put a little bit of PB2 if you like peanut butter oats. I highly recommend the powdered peanut butter for ease of carry. However, when you're out on trail, real peanut butter would be my choice because more fat and more calories. Freeze-dried fruits like these apples, bananas are another really yummy one. Any freeze-dried fruit in your oatmeal is going to be delicious and add up to some really good calories. So yummy stuff. This is something that I see a lot of people doing and I've not done. Like, I have not had one of these Carnation instant breakfast drinks since the 80s. My mom used to buy them all the time, and I see everybody using them on trail, and I see a lot of people mixing it with coffee to make themselves like not an iced, because you know there probably won't be any ice, but like a mocha coffee in the morning, plus you get some protein. So I will be taking that along and trying that for my morning coffee. I have not been doing hot coffee for some time, and I have been on an iced coffee kick for the last several years. So I don't think I'm gonna have any issue with having cold coffee in the morning. In fact, I prefer it. My issue is going to be getting the flavor just right. So these Alpine Starts, I have made, I think I made a shakedown video prior to one of my trips to Scotland where I tried this coffee. It wasn't bad. It's kind of a staple. It's more one of the more expensive flavors, but any instant coffee will do. Starbucks Via, good old Taster's Choice, like literally anything. And truth be known, I tend to prefer like the Folgers and the Taster's Choice when I'm out on trail. For lunches and dinners, while we're talking about cold soaking, not just no cook backpacking meals, I will do that in another video. So as far as cold soaking goes, I have picked just a few things that you could make in your cold soaking jar, and they vary as far as how long you need to let them soak. So you want to make sure you look at the packaging, practice before you go on your hike if you can. A lot of times a good rule of thumb is about an hour before you're getting ready to stop for dinner, go ahead and put all your ingredients into your jar, shake them up, put them in your pack, and get on down the road. By dinner time, your stuff is ready. If you're not sure, beginning of the day, after you've had your breakfast, put in your lunch or dinner if you're gonna cold soak your lunch or dinner, and it'll be ready by the time you get ready to stop for dinner. One of the most popular cold soaking items out there is couscous. These Near East couscous packages are fairly cheap, but I did want to talk about how much you get for the price and how much you're going to get as far as stretching your food on trail. This original couscous, if you look down here, this one is 10 ounces. And how many servings per package? About 4.5 servings in this container. And this one is 4.7 ounces. And on the back here, it says about 2 servings per container. Now these were BOGO at my local store, and they were the same price. So you're not going to get as many meals out of this one as you are with this one. And it tends to be that any of the flavored couscouses or noodles or anything like that do kind of tend to be more expensive than the plain ones. So if you get yourself some olive oil, get some garlic, get a few spices. What am I thinking of? The dip packets that you can make, like sour cream dip and stuff, French onion dip, all those seasoning packets that you can get at the grocery store to put into sour cream and stuff, that would probably work really well in here if you didn't want to carry an individual little bag of spices. You can get things like sun-dried tomatoes, which are really awesome and delicious to go with this. And you can also get dried vegetable soup mix. This one I got off of Amazon. I will put the link down below. I can't remember how much I spent for this, but you can also put these into your couscous, and you can top them with nuts like sunflower seeds, pistachios, anything like that. And for your healthy fats, guys, don't forget to put yourself some olive oil in there. One of the recipe I'm going to try today, which I'm really excited to try because I love me some Fritos, are dehydrated refried beans. And I'm going to, you can get the little packets of taco sauce, taco seasoning, any kind of taco mix will do for this, or whatever spices you want. Little hot sauce packets that you've gotten from restaurants, gas stations. If you're collecting those things along the way, I tend to do that. Or just buy yourself a packet of sauce. Add that in there and top with your Fritos. A lot of people bring big old blocks of cheese for the fats and stuff and snack on like cheese sticks and stuff like that. The individually wrapped cheeses tend to work a little bit better because they don't get all mashed up and bunched up in your pack as you're hiking all day. Top with some crunchy Fritos, and there you go. Some other popular cold soaking recipes. Ramen is one of the most common backpacking meals out there. They're super cheap, they're delicious. They come with a seasoning packet inside. You can add the protein of your choice, like little chicken packets, tuna packets. You can also add TVP, which is textured vegetable protein. This stuff is extremely high in protein. So if you're plant-based, this would be a good option for you to put into your ramen. You can also cold soak things like Knorr rice sides. These are very cheap and very popular. You can also add these little rice packets. Now for me, this is one of my favorites. I love cilantro and lime rice. And these are pre-cooked packets of rice. Obviously, these 90-minute microwavable meals, you're not gonna have a microwave out there, but they're pre-cooked, which means you're not going to have to cold soak rice all day long. I don't know how long this would need to soak before it is edible. I'm pretty sure it's edible right out of the package. They feel like they are 100% pre-cooked, but this would be a good choice. Thai ramen with peanuts and peanut butter, dried vegetables. I'm pretty sure you can get dried stir-fried vegetables, which would be really good with this. And then last but not least, your regular freeze-dried backpacking meals. So what I do, if I'm buying backpacking meals and using them, I will divide them up because a lot of times they're just too much food. And these will rehydrate really well without your stove. Meals, this thing right here, I would imagine would be several servings. This guy right here is 500 calories, 128 grams. They are instant, so this would be, I mean, they're kind of weighty, but if you like taking pre-prepared meals and you don't want to think about trying to piece together backpacking meals and you're insistent on taking these kinds of things, they will also work. If you are plant-based and you don't feel like carrying or you can't find any plant-based cheeses where you stop, nutritional yeast is a fairly common product to find in most grocery stores. I've even seen it occasionally in little markets and gas stations. Great cheese substitute. It's very cheesy. It's got a lot of protein, and it is a good choice to add any type of cheesy flavoring to your cold soaking meals. So it would be a good choice with your refried beans. You can make your own taco seasoning with various spices like cumin, chili powder, onion powder, not chocolate donut seasoning, garlic powder, chili flakes, smoked paprika. You can look online and there are various recipes to make your own taco seasoning. You can also buy the little packets, just put it directly in with all of your ingredients. So if you're getting the refried beans and you want to cold soak these, don't get the whole beans. They will take forever. You want to get flakes so that it will hydrate quickly. I'm going to time how long it takes them to hydrate to where I think they would be edible. I have an audience. You want some beans? I'm not giving you any beans, sorry. Okay, so just for the sake of playing around, I've done 2 ounces of the refried beans, and now I'm going to add in some seasoning. It actually smells really good. I'm gonna add in a little bit of nutritional yeast just for the flavor. So I'm actually gonna be using Daya Mexican Blend shreds to put in here as well. Obviously they're not going to melt, but they are just gonna add a little bit of, that texture we're used to. Shredded cheese, everybody loves some shredded cheese. So the instructions actually read, to 1 part by weight product, add 2.5 parts boiling water. So I'm not gonna add boiling water, and I'm gonna let it stand more than 3 to 5 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to pour water in just to the top of what I've got here in the jar. Just FYI, I don't think this is going to be enough. But since I'm just experimenting here, I don't want to waste too much product, so I'm just going to do double 1 serving, so 2 servings. Just covers the top, and there's a little bit of water standing on top. So I am going to cover this up, give a little shake around, and I'm gonna let it sit and see how long that it takes to rehydrate to the consistency that I like. So it's 2:16 right now, and we'll see how long it takes. Okay, so we are now at 10 minutes, and you can see how it has increased in size a little bit there. And if I give it a good slosh around, it feels a bit more substantial. This actually smells really good. It smells like burritos. I'm gonna mash around a little bit. They're still a little firm, so I'm gonna let them soak a little bit more. Another good choice for this would be your rice. Beans and rice obviously is a win, and you can put any type of hot sauce in here. Hot sauce packets and things like that are pretty readily available at a lot of gas stations and little markets. So that would be another awesome thing to put in here. And obviously, if you like burritos, you can, and if you're hiking, you probably have tortillas in your backpack. I know I have carried them. They are very versatile and great for putting just about anything in, from breakfast, lunch to dinner. You could take this mixture and put inside a tortilla, put you some cheese and Fritos on top. Another thing that I think is really delicious to add into the mix are pizza flavored combos. I really like those. I think they're good. That's what we're looking at 15 minutes. I'm gonna take the top off here. It is super fragrant, like it smells like a burrito. This is feeling really soft right now, so I'm gonna take a little taste of this and see if there's any crunchiness left to it. Okay, so there is a little bit of crunch left in there after 15 minutes. I will say the flavor is really good with this spice mixture, and I will leave this spice mixture in the video description in case you want to make your own. It's really tasty. I actually like it better than pre-made taco seasoning. So I am going to let this sit for another 5 minutes, and I think that might do it. Okay, this is now 20 minutes. So it has, ooh, come on. It's rehydrated to about 1/4 cup. I'm gonna open it again and see if they're still crunchy. Dang, like that smells really good. All right, they feel okay. I don't feel any crunchiness, but I'm gonna taste them and see. Here's what they're looking like. This looks like beans. Okay, so at 20 minutes, they're very flavorful. They are still a little firm, and there still is a little bit of water sitting on top, so I'm gonna leave them as they are for another 5 minutes. Okay, here we are at the 30-minute mark. We're gonna try it. Okay, so 30 minutes is it. They are perfect consistency. I'm gonna add a couple things in there. Couscous is a backpacking staple of mine and is always in my food bag. I prefer the pearled couscous, which is a bit larger, but it does take longer to rehydrate. It makes me feel like I'm getting a bit more hearty of a meal, so I just deal with the longer rehydration time. I also prefer the ones that are flavored and come with their own seasoning packet, but you can easily add whatever seasonings you want to this. I do add additional toppings because, again, I like a bit more hearty of a meal and it adds more flavor as well. Pistachios are my #1 choice with couscous, but you can add cashews or pretty much any other nut that you want. The dehydrated vegetables that I mentioned earlier also add some nutrients and substance to this meal. I check the couscous about every 10 minutes or so for this experiment, and it took about 30 minutes before it was fully hydrated, or I should say edible, but if you're prepping it in the morning, it will definitely be ready by lunchtime. When it's fully hydrated and before eating, top with some sun-dried tomatoes and pistachios or whatever nut you've chosen, and you have yourself a really hearty lunch loaded with flavor. For extra fat and calories, don't forget to add some olive oil. These are only a few of countless options. I'd love to hear your favorite cold soaking and no-cook backpacking recipes, so be sure to drop them in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on trail.